Alright, so for this video we're going to be installing the Waldo Customs parts into my aap-01. So we're going to be doing everything, so recoil spring, nozzle spring, and shortstroke kit. This is going to make the gun shoot very fast, right? So I'm going to give you a baseline as far as the rate of fire beforehand. So we're going to put in a magazine in here. It's fully gassed up. And we're going to put it in and we're going to be able to kind of hear what the rate of fire is. And I will likely put this back to back with the end result at the end of the video as well. But so we're going to go ahead, put the magazine into the gun. It is a bit of a leaky mag, but nothing to worry about. And then now we can shoot it. Oh, I have it on semi, so let's go ahead, switch it to full auto. That's what the rate of fire is going to be like right now on just a stock aap-01, so nothing too crazy. But it's still going to be pretty solid rate of fire. But we are going to make that significantly faster. All right. So to start off with, we got to disassemble the upper from the lower. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cock the gun. I'm going to pull the trigger. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the upper from the lower. So to do that, you have this little button over here on the side, or on the back. You basically press that. And then you're going to be able to pop open the upper from the lower. You can take apart it. The lower, you're going to set off to the side. We aren't going to touch this today at all. All right. And all these parts all go into the bolts. They don't go anywhere else. So we're going to just remove the rear iron sight. So I don't have an iron sight, but it's the same exact thing. So we're going to grab our Allen wrench with a, I believe it's a 2mm hex. Yep. You're going to go ahead and unscrew your rear sight block, and this is what's going to hold in the gun and all that sort of thing. Alright, so we're going to set that off to the side now, and then we can remove the whole assembly there, and then the receiver, you can just set that off to the side. Now, we're going to be removing the nozzle portion first, alright? So you need a Phillips head screwdriver, just a decent sized one, and that's going to remove these two screws that are right there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and remove those two screws. And again, this video I'm going to be short stroking it to the max. All right, this kit is like a tunable kit, so you can kind of pick and choose exactly how much you want, but I'm going to be going all the way to the max for this. And you can remove this whole chunk. I like to just kind of leave it all together until I need it. And then now you can remove the spring. You slide it out through the front. Set that off to the side. And then you can just pull out the little guide rod, just like this. And there you go. So now this is fully disassembled. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the short strokes, right? So I have them right here. We're going to go ahead and open up this baggie, and we're going to pour them all out. And it can be a little bit hard to get out of the bag, but they do. There's quite a few pieces in here. Yep, it looks like that's all of them. All right, so you're going to get quite a few things in here. So you get 3 yellows. Looks like you get 5 blacks and then 1 silver one. It looks like we have an extra black one. We don't need all 5. We're only going to need 4. And what you do is you take your guide rod, right? And then you're going to take a black one. You put that on first. And then a yellow one. And then a black one, and you basically repeat this process to the end. Oop. My bench is not very clean. All right, there we go. And then another black one. And at the end, you have the metal piece, and this is very important. This basically protects all of these other short strokes, because these are all going to be semi-soft material, and the spring is going to dig into them if it doesn't have this little metal protective piece. All right, so now we can go ahead, and this extra piece we can put off to the side. We're just gonna, actually, sorry, before we put that in, we need to kind of lubricate all of the inside of this area. So I'll grab my lube. I like this type, but they're all very similar, so whatever your preferences is going to work fine. And I kind of just lube all the rails in here, just to make sure everything's all going to be good. And it looks like some of my stuff kind of turned, so I'm going to return it back to where it should be. So you need to make sure that everything is all lined up correctly. You want it to match the bottom of the little guide rod thingy there. And then once everything's all good, you're going to slide it in, and it's just going to sit there, right? Make sure everything kind of sits down and flush onto the rails in there, and you're good there. All right, so now we're going to go on to the recoil spring. So recoil spring, very simple. You just kind of put it back in. So we're going to go ahead and open this. If I can. Oh, there it goes. And then this is just going to go straight in through here, through the front, right? And then it'll go back and get kind of put in place back there. I like to put just a little bit of lube in here, just to kind of help it out a little bit. I kind of just spin around, switch it around, whatever, try to get it all kind of worked over all over the place. All right, so now that part's done. We're into the home stretch. So our nozzle chunk, we're going to kind of remove this chunk from the nozzle, right? So we're going to put that off there. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of lubricate in here first. So mine is very dry, and this is one of the main problems that's going to give you a lot of issues on basically any gas pistol. This whole area needs to be decently lubed, all right? So we're going to go ahead and drop some lube in here. All right, and kind of spread around just a little bit. When we put the nozzle back in, it'll also get spread around quite a bit easier too. But on this chunk, your spring, it might be kind of stuck on there, but if it's stuck, you just got to pull it off. And you can set that off to the side, and then we're going to grab our new springs, all right? So he includes 2 in these when you get them. But you only need 1, all right? Let's see if I can get it. There we go. You just kind of put it back where the original one was, just on there. There we go. And we're also going to lube the inside of the nozzle here because it definitely needs it because it's all dry in there. So you take your lube again, you're going to kind of put a little bit in there, and then you're going to take your pinky finger, put it in, and then you're going to kind of spin around. It might be hard to spin around, but you want to get the entire inside just covered in lube, or else the gun is not going to it's not going to function very well. And then I like to kind of coat the outside. Any of the flat spots is also a good idea to do. All right, and then now we can put the nozzle back in. So this little square hole, that's going to go down towards the bottom. So basically you flip it over like this, and then you just got to slide it in, just like that. And then this chunk is going to go in now. So basically there's going to be a little hole for the spring over here. You basically just got to slide the spring in through there, and then kind of just line it up and push it in. All right, and then if you get some spring tension, so you can see how it's kind of springy, you did it correctly. All right, so you're going to take your Phillips head again, and you're just going to screw in one side of this, and then the other side. All right, so there we go. And then now you can kind of pull back on this, and you can just see how strong it is. All right, so we're going to go ahead, drop some lube on top and on the rails, kind of spread around. You also want to pull in and out a little bit, just kind of get it all spread around in there. And then I like to kind of lube the whole outside of the thing as well. So we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna take a finger, just spread it around, make sure it gets in all the crevices, make sure everywhere is all well lubed. And the same thing up here. And then also back here. Alright, so now I got everything all lubed all over the place, everywhere it needs to be. So we're pretty much all set. So we can go ahead and put this back into the gun. So here's the upper. I'm just going to slide it straight in, just like that. And then we're going to grab our rear iron sights, or whatever you have in the back. We're going to kind of drop it on there. We're going to grab our 2mm Allen wrench again. There it is. You're just going to screw it in. Alright, so that's all screwed in there. And you can kind of do a test, just pull it, see if everything's all functioning good. And it does seem to be. So we can go ahead and put the lower back on. So you just kind of hook it on the front, and then you close it, and then press that button back, and it locks into place. It's all good to go. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and gas up this magazine again. You can hear it's leaking a little bit, but not a big deal. Alright, so we're going to put it into the gun, rack it, and that's just insane. Right? That was very fast, and hopefully I'll be able to put a side-by-side thing of beforehand and now. As far as what the difference is, but it's definitely insane. All right, so that is going to be it for me today. I will catch you guys in another video. I hope this was helpful if you were wanting to install this Waldo Customs kind of whole set. But yep, that's going to be it for me today. So have a nice day.
Back road dealer, 100 different ways to ride. If you'd have seen what I seen, done what